Building an AI application has never been simpler. Today we're going to be building a search and knowledge base application using the power of AI, and it's going to be on the Google Cloud platform. Why Google Cloud? Well, it's safe, it's secure, and it's enterprise grade, so you know that it's going to be good. All right, what we're going to be looking at today is understanding what we want to put into our knowledge base, so get a bit of a plan going. We'll then obviously add some of that data into the Google Cloud, and I'll walk you through those steps. We'll then start building the search and knowledge base application, configuring it, and then ultimately testing it. If you enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and if you'd like further details and a full course on how to build applications in Google Cloud, check the links down below. Let's get going. Right, so what we're going to be doing now is building out our search and knowledge base AI. All right, so what is some of the first things we need to do when we get going with a new project? Well, the first thing is let's put a plan together. So have a think about what type of data you want to put into your knowledge base. Think about the type of data that you have. Do you have enough information to build up this knowledge base, or do you need to go and find it? All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just show you a sample of what I've been looking at, and it's basically a Google search that I did. So what are the principles for AI in the US government? All right, and as you would expect, the highest sponsored stuff is right on the top, and they want you to click on there, but it's not really giving me the principles, right? So it's taking me to their website and it's trying to sell me something, and I don't want to be sold anything at this particular point in time. All right, so what I've done is managed to scour some data that I've found, and let's just go quickly have a look at what I found. All right, so I found a couple of cool PDF documents that are really going to suit and meet my needs. So this is one from the GSA, and it's 92 pages long, and it's got a lot of information here around AI for government and how it all applies to government and when you want to start implementing AI into government. So really awesome, useful document, but pretty long, pretty boring if you don't really want to read it. And then I found the other one over here. There's a Bill of Rights, and it's basically a blueprint as well, and it's come from the whitehouse.gov site. All right, so again, quite a lot of information over here, and what I found quite cool with this one was it had some of the principles. So let's just quickly scroll down here. Principles to practice, and it's really going to be a companion to the Bill of Rights. All right, so huge amounts of information in here, also quite a large number of pages, 73 pages in total. So these are going to be two awesome resources to put into my knowledge base, and I can start building out my search and AI conversation bot. All right, so what we want to do now is go into so save those two documents, and what we want to do now is go into Google Cloud. So type in cloud.google.com. If you haven't already signed up for a Google Cloud environment, you get some free credit, which is really great. And just to test it out, I've already signed up for Google Cloud. So if you haven't seen how to do that, check one of my other videos. Links will be down in the description. But what we can do is just go into the console. And once you get into the console, you're going to be presented with a screen, something similar to this. All right. What we want to make sure is that if you don't have a project, just create a project. Already simple. But what we're going to do first is we're going to add the data into our storage bucket. So step number one, to add the data into Google Cloud Storage. So click on the little hamburger on the top left. Go to Cloud Storage, and then click on your buckets. All right, a bucket is just it's just another name for a folder, ultimately. All right, you'll be able to see all the buckets that you've created over here, and if you wanted to create a new bucket, all we can do is click on Create. All right, I've already created the AI principles bucket over here and added my two documents just for simplicity purposes in this video. But basically the way you would create a bucket is go create, type in the bucket name, and you can call it AI principles, and we'll just go continue. and you can choose multi-region or just do the this over the region over here. The reason it asks you to do this is it allows you to have high availability. So if you want your data to be available all the time, probably not, but it doesn't really hurt too much if you did want it. All right, here's the pricing, and it's always good to check the pricing because anytime you load any information up into Google Cloud, there is costs associated with it. So have a look at it. These two files are a couple of megs each, so it's going to be pennies on the dollar here. All right, and what we can do is click on create, and what it's going to do now is it's going to create the bucket. Okay, the bucket's going to be called AI Principles 2, and I'm just going to upload the files. So really simple, click on upload files, select the two files that I want to upload, and what it's going to do now is it's going to start putting them into the storage bucket. And as you can see, there's the first file 1.3 meg and the second file 11 meg. All right, so step one, loading the data for your knowledge base is done. All right, if you wanted to add extra documents, start loading them into your buckets. You can create separate buckets for different types of documentation and knowledge bases. But this is just a really simple starting point. Right. Next step, let's go to Agent Builder. So click on the hamburger icon on the left and look for Agent Builder. If you can't find it, go down to View All Products down at the bottom, or you can type in Agent Builder in the search bar over here and you'll see Agent Builder. All right, so let's go into Agent Builder. All right, so Agent Builder is the space where you can create apps in no-code, low-code environment, and these are all the apps that I've created. All right, so here's the principles one that I've already created, but let's just create the new app just so you can see exactly which path to go down. All right, so you can click on Create App. And what we want to do today is we want to create a search app. All right, you can do a chat app, a recommendations, or an agent, but for today we're going to just look at the search app. All right, here's some options that you can set as well. So we've got a generic type of application, so powerful search out of the box utilizing advanced AI for accurate, intense, focused search results. If you had media like video streaming or audio, you could choose that, or healthcare, you could choose that. We don't have that, so that's fine. You want to enable the enterprise features because we want to extract information from the documents, right? And we also want to enable the advanced features that come with that. All right, and we want to enable the LLM. This is where we can start using large language models to interrogate and to work with our data and our apps. All right, so let's pop in an app name over here. So let's just call this AI Principle App 1. All right, and what we can do over here is pop in our company name. Let's just go firstfordata.com, and the location of the app is going to be global, and that's fine. So click on continue. All right, what we want to do now is connect up our data store to the bucket that we've just uploaded information to. So let's click on data, create data store. And where did we put the data? We popped it in our cloud storage. So you can obviously select a number of other places, but we popped it into cloud storage. So let's select and choose the type of data that you're importing. All right, so remember I said create different buckets for different types of data. So it's just easier if you've got all your PDF, HTML, text documents in one bucket and your JSON and your CSVs and stuff like that in another bucket. It just makes it easier just when you come to this stage, but have a play around with it. All right, so it's unstructured data because it's a PDF document, and the folder, and it's Google storage. So let's just go browse. All right, and what we want to do is click on the AI principles that we've just created and hit continue. All right, the data store name is going to be AI principle right. And you can go to document processing options over here. I suggest just leaving that standard for the time being, and let's hit create. Okay, so what we can see now is the data stores that are created and that are available for us to select from. So you can select multiple for your particular app, but what we're going to do is just click on this one over here, because that's the one we've just created, and hit create. All right, so we've now successfully created an app. All right, what it's doing in the background, and it'll take around 30-40 minutes to load it in, depending on how big your documents are. So what it's doing ultimately is, if you click on the activity, it's basically showing you that it's importing the documents into the processing engine. It's passing the information into a structure that the large language models can read. So this takes a little while to do, but once it's done, it'll actually say completed, 2 documents available over there. All right, so let me just show you what that looks like. All right, so once it's finished, it'll look something similar to this. So number of documents is 2, and as you can see, I've processed this previously, and if you want to see the documents, you can just click on those. All right, if there was any errors, it would come up in the errors over here. So we're pretty comfortable that this works. All right, so I'm going to use this one that I've already created because it's already up, and I don't really feel like waiting in this video to show you how to do it. All right, so let's just go back to our apps, and let's open up our app that we've just created. Okay, so once the data has been connected, you can click on your app, click on preview, and you can now select the web version or the desktop version, and this is the preview for you here. So you can just say here, what is the okay, so remember, this is just the prompt that we want to pop in, and let's hit enter. And what it's going to do now is it's going to go in and search those documents that we've popped in, and it's going to start generating a response using the large language models. All right. Okay, so you'll see citations over here, and ultimately here's the information that it's pulled from. All right, so it's pulled from the blueprints, it's pulled from the AI guide, and it has done a nice summary for you here. All right, so you can basically copy and paste this. If you wanted to see that in a mobile version, you click on the mobile, and that's pretty cool. All right, so again, that's really great, but let's go configure it a bit more. All right, and this over here is where you can start adding a couple more types of options to the search bar. All right, so you can just do a search with a list of results, search with an answer, search with follow-up questions. So you can basically now become, it's almost like a chat bot. Right, you can now select the type of model that you want to use. All right, so you can use the text Bison, the Gemini, you can use the Flash models, and you can use the Gemini Pro. So have an experiment around with all of these. There is obviously pros and cons and benefits to all of them. And then what we can do over here is give instructions to customize the tone, verbosity, and we can pop that over there. All right, so this is really cool. So what you can do now is you can start creating a pre-prompt that will always be passed to the search bar, so that it will always respond in a way that you like. So here's the prompt that we're going to put in. So remember, it's just a normal prompt, so like you were talking with Gemini, and you can say here, you're a researcher for business team, you need to ensure that the software is compliant, show the relevant standards and information in a simple way so my software teams can build it in accordance. All right, you want to enable the snippets, extractive answers, you show autocomplete. All right, so there's quite a few options that you can pop in here. To just save it first, so let's go right at the bottom over here, save and publish. All right, so that's really it. We can go back to preview. We can ask a question, and here is the outputs that it's basically provided. All right, so you can now ask a follow-up question if you would like to. All right, so what are ethical considerations? What are the effect AI? So we can say now here, right, and you can pop that in. All right, so here you can put some technical documentation in, and as you can see, these are the citations. So again, really powerful, really easy to start working with, and now you can start fine-tuning what you're going to be building from your development space. All right, so to integrate this, to put it onto your website or put it in a space where you can actually use it for you and your teams, what you can now do is you can either create a JWT or public access and then allow the domains for the widget. All right, so if you're putting this on your website, just pop in the domain name over here. So you can go firstfordata.com and click on add. It does take about 30 minutes to apply. I've found that it takes a little bit shorter in some instances and sometimes longer. So you can just click on save. And then all we do now is copy the following code to your web application. So you click on copy. And if you're using the JWT parser, you can pop in this code over here. So copy this, pop it into your website, and you'll be able to start chatting with your knowledge base. All right, so just to recap, what we did was we found a use case. We found some need for creating a search and knowledge base. We popped the data into Google Cloud Storage buckets. We then added those, added an app in Agent Builder. And once the Agent Builder was created and the data stores were connected, we then did a bit of configuration and we then started testing it out. And then the final step would be to deploy it into your website after you've done some more testing and made sure that it's actually worked. So if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I hope you have fun. Take care. Till next time.